Thank you very much, our viewer. You're most welcome to Brightline TV. My name is Charlton. Today we are at Uedcl, a new company which is taking over from Pacmecs. You know, Pacmecs have been running power in Pade, Kitgum, Abim, Agago, and some part of Kitgum and then Karaya. Today I have the PRO, and we would like to know from him, and they tell us more about the Uedcl.
Thank you very much, our viewers. My name is John Nkiza. I am in charge of communication at the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited. We are the new electricity distributor of the Northern Service Territory, which comprises the 10 districts, including Kitgum, Abim, Padel, Agago, Karenga, Otuke, Amdat, Lira, and some other parts. So we are here because of a regulatory instrument. We received an instruction from the Electricity Regulatory Authority at the end of the month of April to take over operations as a supplier of last resort effective 1st July 2023. But we were also here a fortnight ago to conduct due diligence to ascertain the status of the network, plus also appreciate the stakeholders who are on the ground, so that we come with knowledge and also with the appreciation of the different needs that we need to have addressed, especially in this service territory. Uedcl is a government company which is 100% owned by the government of Uganda, with its shareholders being the Ministry of Energy and the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. We have been in existence since 2001, when we officially got disbanded from the Electricity Distribution Board, or UEB, the one they used to know. We were formed as 3 successor companies: Uedcl to manage the 33 kV and below assets, Uedcl to manage assets above 66 kV, and Uegcl to manage the generation segment. And by that time, they were managing the Nalubale, or what you call the Owen Falls Dam. Our mandate precisely has been growing. In the year 2005, our assets, the ones we received from government in 2001, we concessioned them to Umeme in a lease and assignment agreement, which is also going to end in 2025, 1st of March, and those assets will revert back to government of Uganda, precisely to say Umeme is a tenant of Uedcl. Uedcl is into 3 businesses. Number 1, we do electricity distribution as but the license of the Electricity Regulatory Authority. We distribute power in 10 service territories, including this one being the newest. We operate from border to border, from Kisoro up to Elegu, from Elegu up to Swam, from Swam up to Kotido. So we are operating in roughly about 86 political districts across the country. We are also into the business of pole treatment. That's why you see behind us, you see a truck of poles. Those poles are manufactured and treated and also bought from the locals. But that's a product of Uedcl. They are black in nature. That's the only distinction we have. I think you can even hear the smell of it. They are creosote treated poles that are very versatile and usually used on different networks. But also on the other aspect, we monitor the lease and assignment. We monitor the concession of Umeme. We supervise Umeme. We make sure that the asset that Umeme is running has value for money for this country, especially for the taxpayers. So that's also one of the mandates that we do as Uedcl. But also, on top of of monitoring and assessing the asset of Umeme, we also do special projects of government of Uganda under the Ministry of Energy, including extending power in different parts of the country. That is also done by Uedcl.
You are taking over from Pacmecs immediately. What should the community expect from you?
Of course, let me also present the Uedcl advantage. As you know, Uedcl is a government-owned company. We have a very sound corporate governance structure. We have a board which is selected by both Ministry of Energy and Ministry of Finance, and that in itself, all of us know that the biggest ally the community and the public should ever have on their side is government, because government has the will and wish for its people. So for us being government, we are here to implement both the aspirations of government that are enshrined in the country's Vision 2040, but also in the manifesto of the sitting government, the National Resistance Movement. So there is that advantage that we are not short of resources. That is one. That's why you see this area is all flooded. We have materials to begin with even before the day arrives. That is the advantage government has. But also number two, there are also specific schemes that government brings to the people of Acholi sub-region. To be precise, there is that is what is termed in the regulatory language as the lifeline tariff. Lifeline tariff is that particular set of tariff put aside by ERA to cater for people who are less privileged in terms of incomes, where a unit at the beginning of the month goes for 250 Uganda shillings. And those 8 units are accrue to every consumer of electricity under the UEDCL umbrella. So meaning that advantage is also coming to the people of Acholi sub-region. That's also an advantage of being government. But also, if you look at manpower and resources and experience, UEDCL has been in this business for the past 22 years. We have been in power distribution, and there is no doubt that we have the required expertise to manage the distribution segment, and specifically the Acholi sub-region. With the current needs, especially revamping the network, investing in the network, UEDCL is already having what it takes to begin with full operations, even with tonight.
And there are some community who want to connect in their power. Do you guys still have the issue of free connections, or there's some fees attached to it?
Okay, thank you very much. About the services that we are bringing on board, the government free electricity connection scheme is still ongoing. For lack of a better word, is we are having other programs being rolled out, but it is also still on board. If customers want to come and enroll under ECP, where they only pay inspection fees and initial energy fees, but also wait for a government meter, that one also depends on them. Now, this category of customers must be near a pole. That's very important for people to know. You don't want to be 3 or 4 kilometers away and you think you'll benefit from this scheme. There is also a new government scheme which was rolled out in November last year, which is called the Hybrid Electricity Connection Scheme. How does this Hybrid Electricity Connection Scheme work? A customer or a person who wants to actually have power in their premises needs to only have 200,000 shillings cash. Now, why is it called hybrid? Because it has a component where somebody can actually take an electricity connection but is able to pay back in small bits through the vending patterns for a period not exceeding 8 years. In other words, if you take a loan under this new hybrid connection, the loan doesn't have any interest. You only need to consent that and agree how much should be deducted on you every time you buy electricity. And that should be for a period of not exceeding 8 years. Now, a customer will only be deducted 270,000 in 8 years. If he can have a down payment of 200,000, even now as I speak, we have meters in our premises. It's another thing that we are bringing as a way of trying to reduce on the pressure of especially of people who have stayed so long without having electricity connections in the different parts of Acholi East and also the Karamoja region.
There has been issue of power blackout before you came in. How best are you going to work in so that the issue of power blackout is not there?
Power blackouts are twofold. There are power blackouts which are orchestrated by us, the end users, but there are also power blackouts that are orchestrated by nature, things to do with the weather patterns. If, for example, the network succumbs to effects of weather like rain, winds, definitely electricity has to go off. What I want us also to appreciate is sometimes power going off is not a sign of incompetence. Sometimes it is a sign of factors beyond the utilities. Number two, power goes off everywhere in this world. They should never allow you that power does not go off. But you have asked a very important question. When power goes off, there are standards, there are expectations the consumers should have from us. Number one, communicate to the consumers. The consumers ought to know the reason why power is off. And UEDCL has been doing that in all the areas where we operate. As soon as the power goes off, we have a 24-hour toll-free center line, which also manages the communications to the customers. We believe that as we are onboarding customers of Pacmecs under the Pacmecs concession today, we have also onboarded their contacts. If there is a power blackout or a likely power blackout or a planned shutdown of the sort, we communicate to these customers in time. We tell them on this particular day we are going to switch off power to do A, B, C, and D, and in this activity will take us 8 or 7 hours, and after 8 we shall restore the power. But also, in terms of managing power blackouts, the communities have a role to play. I'll give an example. The distribution lines traverse vegetations. Now, these vegetations have a risk of interfering with electrons, especially when it is windy. When the branches of trees flush with the conductors, definitely the lines trip. So we also ask the communities to allow us clear these lines, because you will be seeing our men in our overalls, and also sometimes also contractors moving through to try and clear the line so that we manage unplanned fluctuations of power. That is also both on our side but also on the side of the community. There should be that will to allow us to access and also cut. Of course, maintenance, of course, it's an inconvenience, but everything which is mechanical, everything that has a component of mechanism of mechanical, it breaks down. We need to appreciate that. Even our own bodies, you cannot be strong 12 months a year without breaking down. The same is true with networks. The same is true with transformers. The same is true with other old assets we use to deliver electrons to you. There is going to be that time when we are going to tell you we need to do a particular activity on this line to ensure that there is continuity of supply going forward. Then lastly, about power blackouts, I know there is a misconception. Uedcl does not have a source of power, and this is very important for our viewers to appreciate.
Aligned, and the other time they had been saying that Omeme deliberately switches off power, and Omeme line there is power, then this side there is no power. How are you going to handle such issues?
As I said from my introduction, that the assets Umeme is running are assets of Uedcl. Now, just really interpret it. It is not possible that Umeme can do something deliberate to stop power supply flowing to the actual sub-region. And I also don't think that is also true. But I also believe that the status of the line can cause a reason why Umeme may not want to allow maybe lines of Pacmecs to, or maybe they have not been allowing lines of Pacmecs to not at sometimes to couple with theirs. Why? Because of their status. If, for example, they are picking faults from the side of Pacmecs, it is very unlikely that they will switch you off at the point where you're deriving energy. We are bringing an advantage. Our network elsewhere across the country is digitally managed. We manage it from head office. You will not see us just running anyhow to look for fault. We have what we call a SCADA center. It's operational 24 hours at Uedcl towers in Kampala. We are able to see where the faults are on the different networks, and we are also able to switch off and switch in remotely and communicate with our ground teams here, for example, now in the Northern Service Territory. That's an advantage we are bringing in simplifying, juxtaposing technology with electricity operations. That is precisely that we intend to do here. Of course, digitalizing services. Our services are purely digital, right from vending, applying for a new connection. For some of you will be applying for our power. You only need to come to this office once to pick an application form. The moment you return, the rest will be done on your phone and at your own convenience without necessarily coming back to this office, because there is nothing you'll be needing from here. Everything will be spoken by your phone. And because of that fact, we don't encourage people to pay cash. We don't have any cash transactions. All Uedcl operations are done digitally. There should not be anybody who should be lied that we are receiving money here. There is no money here we are receiving. There is no custody of money here. All money goes to the account of Uedcl, and you, the customer, must be able to receive a notification that implies that there is a service that you have uptaken of Uedcl. Now, maybe also very important for our viewers to appreciate about blackouts. Blackouts are also as a result of human activities. People burn poles, for example, in this region. We operate in a region close to this one in the North Service Territory, where we had almost over 15 structures burnt because of agricultural practices, which are still predominantly a little old, where people believe that unless they burn, their crops will not come out well. But this hampers our operations. Because of the nature of poles, if you look at our poles, they are black in nature. That pole, by the time you burn it, you must have worked so hard, because it is treated. Every time fire hits on it, it spreads a foam on it, which is fire resistant. That's the advantage also we are also bringing to the people of Uedcl region. But we also want to encourage people not to practice any forms of a culture that hamper the operations of the line, because certainly that affects and interrupts supply, which is also out of our control.
Lastly, you're taking over from Pacmecs. Where does this leave the shareholders?
I think this question should have come first, because it has been on the lips of people. Let me also be very categoric on this. Uedcl is not taking over the business of Pacmecs. Uedcl is taking over the electricity distribution service in the Northern Service Territory. What does it mean? That is why we are standing on a building where Pacmecs is not. We have not taken over the building of Pacmecs. Pacmecs is free to continue doing any business outside electricity. They can do any business whatsoever. We have not taken over their business. Now, where does that leave their shareholders is absolutely nothing related to the existence of Uedcl. We want to be excused out of that discussion, because these same shareholders are our customers now as we speak. So we don't want to find ourselves in a situation where we are making comments that are conflicting with the people who are consuming our energy. But since the cooperative called Pacmecs is still in existence, they know how to do their things. They will go into their AGM, define the next nature of business that they are going to do. But as of now, as of 1st July 2023, we have an instrument from the Electricity Regulatory Authority that is in charge of overseeing the electricity business in the country. And that license we have is giving us mandate to operate and distribute power in the Northern Service Territory. And precisely, we are not doing anything outside that license. We pledge to live by that license. We shall not go and do the business Pacmecs is doing. We pledge that one, because that's not the reason why we are here. So the shareholders should be at ease. We are not touching any of their things. We are not touching their dividends. We are not touching their monies. That is not Uedcl, and that's what it is. Maybe also for the benefit of doubt, there are people who are saying Uedcl has come, it's a government agency, they are bringing their own people. As we stand right now, we have absorbed 99% of the former staff of Pacmecs. Why have we done this? We have done it to ensure that there is business continuity, and also to show that government does not have ill motives for its own people. Now, the staff of Pacmecs, who formerly served under Pacmecs, now are staff of the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited. They may not necessarily be here. Why? Because Uedcl is countrywide. We are in 86 political districts. They are changeable. They are like any other officers of government, like you see the police officers, the army officers. They are changed every time and again. That's how even that is in the utility industry. So much as we have brought them on board, there should not be these complaints that we no longer seeing our sons and daughters here. They are within us, and they are part of government, and they are most likely going to live with us for as long as they so wish.
Maybe your last word to the viewers.
My last word to the viewers is, we first of all want to appreciate that we have support from the consumers. We have had overwhelming support even from the locals as we pass. People are cheering, people are appreciating that government has come, and indeed there can never be a better service provider than government. That one I want to assure you, because government has good wishes for its people. But let us endeavor and we uptake the services Uedcl is bringing for the people in the Acholi East Sub-region and also the people of Karamoja. We have meters in all our offices across the country, across the Northern Service Territory. What maybe is changing a little likely is we have 6 offices, one being in Padel. For those who want to uptake services, you can come here, Okello Street. We have another office in Rachkok. We have another one in Kalongo. We have another one in Abim. We have another one in Karenga. And our 6th office is in Kotido. Now, these offices are all having enough materials and enough support any utility office would require to serve the customer. What we would require from you is to utilize our mediums of communication to engage us if there is a fault. We are here to serve, and our aim is to improve our customer experience, especially for the people here. If there is a problem with your electricity, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We have a toll-free line where you don't pay money. You just call in and report. It's 0800 203 088. This toll-free line is 24 hours functional, from morning to morning. It should be utilized by our customers to make reports. We are vibrant online. We are even in groups of the Acholi East sub-region to ensure that we improve the experience of customers. Okay, there are complaints about liabilities that have accrued in the last 10 years of Pacmecs. We also want to be categorical on this. We are not going to carry forward liabilities of Pacmecs. It be debts that they have left behind. For us, our operations begin on 1st of July 2023 at 00 hours. We are encouraging people who have issues with the past electricity distributor. Their offices are still open. Please go and sort out your issues with them. It's important so that we also have our own fresh start. For incidents that have happened and maybe they have been reported and not resolved, we are still saying that those liabilities are not ours. But as for Uedcl, we have a way how we handle our safety incidents. If anything happens from 00 hours today onwards, then we encourage people to come and report to us, and we shall surely support them with all our effort. But what we are aiming at is zero damage of our assets to any of the assets of the community. It's our plea. We are going to fight as much as we can to ensure that our electricity or our assets of electricity do not in any way or the other destroy people's property, or do not even destroy lives, because in some instances people have lost lives. We want to encourage people. If you are seeing electricity in a way behaving that you cannot appreciate or you cannot understand, please make a report. As we have said, we have a toll-free line. Run to our office. If these people cannot help you, make sure some of us will leave our contacts behind. We are already in some of the customer WhatsApp groups. Drop me a WhatsApp, tell me your people have not supported me. I can assure you we shall wake them up. And also our values are so high that even if you don't want to do something, you'll be forced to do it, because that's who we are. We are a selfless group of people who are here to serve the community. Availability of meters, this is what we mean. We came with enough, and this should be able to facilitate the new hybrid connection scheme which is ongoing. So maybe for the interest of our viewers, they should be able to know that we are not trying to actually make empty promises. The meters are in place. And if you check, this card belongs to Uganda Electricity Distribution Company. So these are the meters.
So which means the former meter which are still digital also, they can be used.
We are not retrieving the smart meters which are in existence. What we are going to remove are the holy meters, the ones that are vending with the mechanism of a card, where a customer needs to move to a service point to pick a token. Theirs will be replaced by these smart meters.
Okay.
To enable them vend digitally, or to enable them vend with ease at their points of convenience, whether they are homes or through the bank or any other preferred method of payment they would want to choose. So these will be available at this office and any other offices across the Northern Service Territory.